Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Okay, thanking also the CRC Commission members, thanking the National Assembly who constitute the Commission. Honorable Speaker, we are representing people at the Parliament. The reason why we constitute this Commission to know the culture and the tradition of the Gambian people. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I must also register my dissatisfactions on this draft. Basically, there are sections on the draft constitutions that are related directly what members are saying to the Kenya. Though there is a article, they rated their message that they have consulted with the Kenya, Ghana, I don't know. But here, what I'm saying here, Honorable Speaker, we are not governed by Kenya government. Honorable Speaker. There are names saying here, it's not copy and paste. I cannot say also the entire the draft is copy and paste. I will not say it. But I can easily say the article, the sections that I have gone through, that I can easily bank on those ones. And there are other sections that also tap from the 1997 constitutions, Honorable Speaker, which is right to do. We asked them to do. But here, what we are saying here, there was a time given to these CRC commissions to go both internal and external, both internal and international, to meet Gambians on their views. Welcome to my surprise here, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Member for Jara, say something about it, and other members, even Willie West. I'll come to that later. The supremacy of the Constitution, Honorable Speaker. We are not Kenyans. Honorable Speaker. Where the Jara, Honorable Member for Jara is quoting that Section 7, Subsection 3 of the Constitution. Jara Central, sorry. Of the draft that is before us, if you go to the Kenyan Constitution 2010, Honorable Speaker, Section 2 of Kenya 2010, subsection 3 is the same copy of that closed, Honorable Speaker. If you may allow me to read, I can go through or I can continue. Honorable Speaker, the supremacy of the Constitution, Section 7, subsection 4 of the draft which is before us, is the same copy to Section, the Kenya 2010, Section 2, subsection 4.
Point of observation. Can I observe you, please?
You can carry on.
Please.
No. Yeah, you can carry on. You can.
Are you, what are you doing? Are you observing?
Observation.
Your microphone, please. Observing or making a point of order? Or, pardon?
I'm making an observation. Point of observation, and I'm permitted by him.
Honorable Speaker, no, I will allow him. I have facts.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Proceed with your observation.
Yes, Upper Salum. When constitutions are written, we have what we call as borrowed ideas. And you make references to constitutions elsewhere. So it's not a crime to say that this part of the constitution has
Honorable,
Please,
with
please.
all due respect, I don't think that is proper. We are not lecturing anybody. Let's allow him to make his interventions and then.
Yeah, thank you, member for Central Badibu. It's very wrong. What I'm saying here, Honorable Speaker, what I'm saying here, I have my facts. And these CRC members, they went through over the country, both internal and international, Honorable Speaker, to bring our views together to see Gambia first. What I'm saying here is, in a view of, they can use, they can bring out different ideas, but to cultivate with the culture of our nation and the traditions that is going in Gambia. They can bring things, to guide themselves on what they are doing. Yes, I agree. But what I'm saying here is, the way the Kenyans written in their 2010 constitutions is the way they written it here. And if you allow me, I can read. Honorable Speaker. What the Jara Central is saying, that is Section 7 of the draft. That's Section 7, Subsection 3. 3. The validation and the legality of the Constitution is a subject to the challenge by or before or any court of organ of the state. That is the draft. You go to the Kenya one, Subsection 2, Subsection 3, okay, reads, the violation and the illegality of the Constitution is a subject to challenge by any before or any court or other state of organ. It is some copy here. You goes to the supremacy of the Constitution 7 and 4. Here also is the same written here. What I'm trying to say here is, we are not governed by Kenyan. Honorable Speaker, they can bring facts. They can bring facts. I agree. But the same versions that is in the Kenya's constitution is the same version is applicable in our draft, which I don't agree. I am not the drafter. I agree. But what I see and understand is what I'm going to say. Honorable Speaker, nobody will keep on my mind here because I have my facts. Then, Honorable Speaker, you go to Section 29 of the draft Constitution, which they have already done. Um, 29.3. 29.3. Yes, 29.3, yes. A person who has been dismissed or otherwise removed from the office of those relationships with an organ or agency of a state or a statutory body of state-owned enterprises has been terminated. Shall it goes. When I read here, Honorable Speaker, whoever did offend during your work in tenure, in office, when you are liable to a suspect on a corruption, you shall never work in the office, any offices. When you go to the African charters, that also talks about how to call it, how to guard the persons in office. Here, when somebody did something, we are all bound to make mistakes. When mistakes occurs to you, then the how to call it, you are taken as somebody who is the victim. Then you are charged in responsibility what the law says. I agree, but that you will not work until the rest of your life, I don't think is a good idea. what I believed. Though I'm not a drafter, but what I read and understand, I mean. Honorable Speaker, if you go to section 145 of the draft, the election of the Speaker, and it is the same also, which is copied from the Kenya 2010. 106 of the Kenya 2010, 106, Honorable Speaker. Here, the system in Kenya doesn't apply in our country, though we need good governance. But what we are up to, we need to go a step what, whereby, you know, the children that are coming, our children that are coming and daughters can engage, can enjoy the constitutions that we are trying to prepare. But as at now, the level of Gambian governance is not where the Kenyan is. Honorable Speaker, what I'm saying here is the election of the Speaker of the House, 145 reads on the draft. Okay, 145. 145 subsection 2. The Speaker shall be elected by the members of the National Assembly from outside the National Assembly, in accordance with the standing order of the National Assembly, shall be a person who I'll go to okay, sorry, I'll come there again. Honorable Speaker, members also talked about the judiciary, how to call it, the Chief Justice appointment here. We are trying to establish separation of powers. We cannot be oversight on these institutions, at the same time giving their confirmations in the Parliament. For instance, if when election comes, we have the ruling parties in the Parliament. What will be our fate? It will almost politicized. Why can't we leave the judiciary independently? We use the clause that I checked is the same. They can check the Kenyan constitution. Yes, we agree. But the culture and the traditions are not the same. They can cross-check and see how balanced it's going to be. This Kenyan 2010 can guide them, whereby they have the expertise, how to bring things to our level. But the system that is in Kenya is not here. Though we borrow language, but copy directly, which I'm not agree on. Honorable Speaker, if you check on that one also, the section 190 of this draft that we are dealing with, subsection 1, with the Kenya 2010 166 1. The Kenya one says, the President shall appoint the Chief Justice and the Deputy Chief Justice in accordance with the recommendation of the Judiciary Service Commission and subject to the approval of the National Assembly. It's the same in the draft 1. We are not the same judiciary system. Honorable Speaker. we have 57 NAMs here. In past regime, it's only, sorry to say it, it's only APRC party militants which are full of in this parliament. So we don't want to repeat the same scenarios. We want to go away on those scenarios. Whatever the speaker said, or the speaker agree on, the entire members agree on. Or executive, whatever they put to the speaker and the National Assembly agree on. No, Honorable Speaker. Then there will be no separation of powers here. We want better Gambia, Honorable Speaker, but not better parties, Honorable Speaker. If it goes to the judiciary, the financial matters on the judiciary, that's section 198, subsection 1. This, I can still refer you again to the Kenya 2010. It's the same, Honorable Speaker. If you go to, again, the article, section 111 of the local government authorities to the safe volume. Honorable Speaker, here I'm just trying to bring questions. They will answer it because I'm not a drafter. But what I can read and understand, section 211 of the local government authorities, safe volume, section 2, that gives the mandate, the press article, the safe volume to be elected. Yes, I agree. But in further, the way I'm saying here is, whoever is elected, whoever is elected, you are there for life. Then there's a controversy on the 1997 Constitution, which is in valid one still now. We are using it, Honorable Speaker, because in the 1997 Constitution says you can vote and to be voted in. Then there is a discrimination here, because you cannot elect a CFO up to his life. Now, when that CFO knows that I won these elections, then I'm going to be a dictator. Those ones in that region, they will suffer. Then we are not doing justice to those citizens. You cannot rule forever. If there be elections, lest there be a tenure in office. But you cannot be a civil forever when you are elected by the people. Because man change constantly. He must change constantly. The reason why Africa we cannot go, this is the reason why. Overstaying in power. We want to remove that, Honorable Speaker, in Africa. But civil also, they count a lot, because all these disputes in the local lands, civil are held responsible on this, Honorable Speaker. Either we know it or not, this is the truth. Whenever whoever goes to elections, unless there be tenure in office, whereby when the time elapses, when the election issue again, they can bring you back. Even here also, the same thing. You must work for the people on the command post, Honorable Speaker. Again, you go to the land holding of non-citizens. Here also, I want a question, answer here also too. Section 261, subsection B, Honorable Speaker, that 261. (261B). A title in the land under customary tenure, that the title and the lands shall be deemed to the leasehold interest for the period of 50 years up the coming into force of the Constitution. That is here is the land holding by the non-citizens. Now, for instance, a non-citizens acquire a land, and it's already listed for industrial purposes. Here, the agreement how to gain that land is out of a period of 99 years, or already registered legally. How can you deny that? How to call it? That non-citizens of going for 50 years land listing. Also, I need a clear person also that can make me convinced on that, because we have seen our own citizens. They travel to abroad. Now they are no how to call it. They have the acquire how to call it identity there, and they are citizens. They get their how to call it resident, which is not conditional. Honorable Speaker. So inviting our non-citizens also here, then acquire land. I don't think there should be a pressure on them. Then there will be no industry that will be available in our midst. Honorable Speaker. Now, what the member for Woolly West was trying to say here is the independent boundaries and electoral commissions. It's a copy from Kenya. Exactly the way they write it, not IEC. Here also the Kenyan one says 2010, section 88 of it. It's the same. We don't have the independent boundaries here, Honorable Speaker. I am not convinced. They can buy ideas everywhere, but it cannot be a common copy, Honorable Speaker. Because, how to call it, drafting laws are not easy. We all know it. Because they are interlinked. They are interlinked. But when drafting a laws, go by the way the citizens are. Honorable Speaker. Now, in fact, the reason why I even tried to have speaking of mine is this 2010 constitution. Now in Kenya, they are challenged into High Court in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, this is my worry, because we are moving. The Kenyans knows that they are moving. This is why they are challenging in court. What about us? We need to move too. You're going to get the same persons there. I'm not saying, I make myself clear, I'm not saying the entire book is the same, no. But the ones that I check, they are the same, Honorable Speaker. I said, I want to make myself clear that I'm worried. When this one is in the High Court, challenged by the citizens, there are no more educated Gambians. There will be a time also, they will also challenge it. And this is why Kenyans now are trying to rebuild the 2010 Constitution. Honorable Speaker. We are not dependent, we are independent. We cannot be still now using people's nature of life. No, Honorable Speaker. They went around anywhere. People make their recommendations, Honorable Speaker. It is put in this, because my constituencies, I engage many of them. They went there, yes. There are many people who bring their persons, but whether these persons are there or not, they are the ones who can interpret these laws, not me, and they are the legal ones. But what I feel as at now, our people are not happy with it. Sorry, my people. To be clear, because I cannot judge everybody's constituency. My people, because they said their versions was taken, but it was no more seen on the draft. And again, after this draft, they need to have to put it in the radio, in cassette. What happens in 1997? I was not aware, but I heard it. Each one, you put it, because as far as people views, if you're trying to say, put it in cassette and make communication, because what are 65% of Gambians are not educated. sorry to say. But this is the reality. Put it on a bus whereby you can easily communicate the layman on the street, like me. Is that happen? I think honorable member for the nominated member, they said it here. Because he cannot read it. Now the person whereby he takes these books to read, if that guy cannot convince him, or the one that is inside the draft, then the guy is killing him. They should put it in a record form whereby people can read.
He wants to clarify the point.
No, but
maybe you misquoted her.
But Honorable Speaker, I'm not agree with you because you know why? She already raised the tag up. She don't say anything. You said she wanted to kill her. No, you cannot put that on her mouth.
She did. The tag was raised. That's
very
why
well. But she don't alter anything. She did alter. Okay, you cannot add on. Carry on.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Thank you very much, Ma. I think raising the tag means that I want to say something. Not so.
It was raised.
So what I'm saying is that it's just that I cannot read. I'm saying that it's not accessible for me to read. That's what I'm saying, but I didn't say that I cannot read.
Yeah, yes, I understand. What I'm saying here is you cannot read. You must take the book to somebody. But when it's in audio, you can easily listen and easily communicate. It's what I'm saying. Honorable Speaker. Okay, very well. Let me continue. Honorable Speaker, they must make us to understand, as far as they say we are not drafters. Let them make us to understand the ambiguity which we know that there are sections that we might think that it will affect our people. Let them make us to understand it. As far as they say we are not drafters. I have many members saying we are not drafters. But there are bills comes here. We delete or we insert how to call it, something there. Are we drafters then? And we are doing it. Honorable Speaker. If you go to the security service sectors, yes, there is option whereby the IG can be an independent body. As we know, the tradition here, that the IG is under a ministry which gave the command. Though I'm not a security trained officer, but commands must take from the highest to the level, to the ladder. Honorable Speaker. The IG cannot be an independent body. There was a scenario, sorry to say it, Faraba case. Thomas said, is the IG who give the command? IG said he's not the command. He released the office. Honorable Speaker, let's put things in order, whereby we'll have better Gambia. Honorable Speaker, saying that two things or some things are in the constitution that we should not read. I'm not saying it. But if I am convinced, I will support it. If I am convinced, I will support it. But if I am not, I will not support it. They must make things clear on my side, whereby I will support, because I am representing people. Whether they know it or not, whatever I did here, in the day of judgment, God will ask me, this what you say, this what you say. So I'm not looking, nobody I see. I will say what is in me and to kill that doubt. Either you label me any way you want it, it's left to you. Because our Prophet Muhammad was labeled badly, but it doesn't even stop him to prosper. Honorable Speaker, we all have interest on this draft. Nobody here doesn't have an interest in the draft. But the common good of Gambia that we want to see, because we are the future leaders of this country, of this land. The old age are going, we are the young one. And I want to be a president. Yes, Honorable Speaker. They are going. Honorable Speaker. And we want better Gambia. If this draft is good, he can serve here for 100 years. For 50 years. Nobody will touch it. Unless there are ones that we're going to amend, which will suit the entire public. But we need a better one, whereby you can serve a long duration. Honorable Speaker. I know you are saying, but let me just wrap up. The armed forces also, Honorable Speaker. There was a issue here when we are trying to nominate the commander of chiefs, something like that, Honorable Speaker. And we said it doesn't explain much thing on the 1997 Constitution. But here also, I have not seen the armed forces is catered here as a body, whereby they will function their duties. Honorable Speaker. Because if you see it, it's just 286, then it stops here. All the other functions in 1997 Constitution are not there. And we said it's not sufficient to use the 1997 Constitution. But this one also doesn't explain more on the armed forces. And it's a built one. Honorable Speaker. Now, what I need a thorough explanation whereby they can convince me to support the draft. Honorable Speaker. Nonetheless, I have been given much time, and this is my position. If I am well convinced, then I will invest my time to support it. But if I am not, I will not. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Lower Nyomi.
Madam Speaker, thank you very much. Let me applaud the last speaker for having made a very extensive research to try to annul the efforts of the CRC. If he thinks, or if it is in line for us to feel that we could be very independent in the way we think without having other ideas, then we're in trouble. I want to also applaud the work, the magnificent work done by this body. This is not an easy task, even if you cut and paste. We have to recognize, respect, and give regard to what we have. When we were preparing this document, the standing orders, I'm sorry, we did not tell you, but you must have learned that we cut and pasted a lot of things from Uganda, the same Kenya, Ghana, and also Britain. You cut and paste so that you could increase your knowledge. They have done a very good job. At least they have moved us from a doctored document for 55 times to somebody that we are just now saying they cut and pasted. That's gratis. If I would jump to the first appreciation of this move, it would be where the parliament would help the president to confirm his appointment or his nomination of a minister. You know why? If some of you could remember 3 stars, I don't know whether you can remember that. A minister saying 3 stars. You remember? That Prime Minister was appointed by the President. When he came here, the first time, when he left, he was removed. We are doing this, these people have done this to help the President. It's not a sabotage. This is to help the President. The name of the President is the name of the country, part of which we have a responsibility. If the President is up there, he has a good name. The Parliament has a good name. If you see it in a very dark way, it goes like that. That is how you're going to tell the people. This is not that. It is not that. We help the President. You know, people are querying about the advisors of the President. If he had consulted Parliament on the appointment of these advisors, he was not going to get this type of people. He was not going to get that. And then, what is the name now? You know, anything that is said to the President is said to the Parliament. You, your people, your country, your President. This is it. We share it. This is why we should take part and very good parcel of this responsibility. We are. If the President just goes to nominate anybody, you wake up in the morning, who is the Minister of Women Affairs? Is Bakari. 3 days later, who is the Minister of Women Affairs? Is Dembo. Things would be changing in such a way that you would not even... This was what was happening the last time. People could not keep track of the changes as they were coming.
But in Parliament, you know, parliamentary procedure, I don't think allows you to call them by names. Maybe you can just get Mr. X or Mrs. Y or whatever, and not refer to honorable members by their names.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am sorry. My other contention or my other observation, last year, September, we lost a brother, a friend, a colleague. September, January, we lost a colleague. Up to this day, the Independent Electoral Commission has not organized any by-election. What is the problem? The type of people the President picks and put in position should be vetted. They should be vetted. If they come here, we vet them. Tomorrow, we can tell them, you are not doing that. But we are left to that. We are left to that. Any name, bad or good, that the President bears is our responsibility. We partake of it, whether we like it or not. We are moving. The member for Birkama South, Birkama North, made a series of quotations of the processes of constitutional building. Before independence in 1965, after independence, up to this one we are discussing right now. And in all this, he had highlighted that these were the processes that were taken. And when he came to the last one, 1997, 23 years back, he said Parliament was never involved. So that's where the doctor started. In fact, when it was doctored, it never went back. It was just thrown for referendum. And then what do we have? People are expressing their dissatisfaction. If ever we think we can get any document that is going to satisfy our complete need, we are mistaken. We are done for. No one. Even God who created us, we question him. Why did you give this man this and you did not give me this? Why did you build me this way? We are questioning that. We take that as a nature, but we are not going to take it as a contention that you would go to reject this. This is a golden opportunity.
Point of observation. It's like we are really deviating from the... Okay.
You have a point of observation?
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. And honorable member for Lower Nyomi. Sure you did. You off your mic.
You see, the issue is he has to give you permission. You need permission from him.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I am not allowing you. Sit down.
Point of order, ma. Point of order.
Quote your relevant section.
Section 29.
29
of the standing orders.
Just a second.
Yes, clause 29 of the standing orders.
Content of speeches.
Yes, it says every member shall restrict his or her observation to the subject under discussion. And what we are discussing is about the merits and the principles of the draft bill, but not about what he is saying, beating around the bush.
I think I will overrule that. You will appreciate that we are also discussing the principles. The principles, and no, you made your point. You made your point. The discussion centers around the yes, my mic is on.
Your point is?
No. That's not proper procedure. You were on your feet, he raised a point of order. He raised a point of order. Yes, thank you. Now, Honorable, what I am saying is we are discussing, or the debate centers around the principles and merits of the bill. If I get him right, he is talking about the general principle and merit of vetting of appointments, whether it is right or it is wrong, but that's how I see it. And I think, no, I will not prolong the debate on that. I will allow him to continue, and I'll overrule on that. No, Honorable, sorry.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. If I may
Honorable Member
continue,
are you presiding or what? No. That's what I am allowing him to please proceed. Thank you.
So this constitution is a reaction to the many flaws that are seen to have appeared, or that are known to have appeared in the 1990s, are already distributed, as I understand. And therefore,